What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Nas. Keith.
And I'm Curtis.
And y'all know the vibes. Y'all know why y'all here. GOT7. This is the first time we ever reacted to this group.
Yeah, I've never heard this group before.
Me neither. Y'all kept telling us about it in the comments and stuff, and a couple of the Patreon members were talking about it. So the one we reacting to today is Never Ever. We can dive right in. I know nothing about them at all.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
Let's go.
I'm actually a fan to it when you click it. It helps me. It's very helpful. Thank you. Smooth Killers.
Oh, that escalated very quickly. I was not expecting that.
Let's go.
That was actually a write-in lyric?
Right.
Okay. Look like he got called by the collector. So is he singing a love song to himself?
I don't know.
That was a nice cut.
I love that part of the beat. Should have had a little bit of more of that in the beat.
Yeah. But see, that's been the theme of the weekend so far. Just beats that kind of start off and then they just don't get there. So I thought it was okay. It was nothing that I'm going to put on my list. It was nothing that kind of hit me, grabbed me. But I mean, for a listen through, it was cool. It just seemed like it was lacking something. You ever taste somebody's food and there's just something missing and you cannot put your finger on what that ingredient is that is not there? Like it's like, you know, like what this, like they forget the paprika, and even though paprika has no fucking taste, but it's just making it miss something. Like it's missing something. and you really can't put your finger on it. But like the beat progression was cool. I definitely love the sounds that. Yes, those. Do that again one more time, please. All right, that I like that, but there wasn't enough of that. I think more of that on cue would have been great for the beat, and maybe something else, bro. But it just seemed like it was missing something, and it didn't seem like the levels were really played with properly. Like sometimes the voice was higher than the beat, or just kind of overshadowed the beat, and the harmonies weren't in sync. But anybody else?
I agree to a certain point. The initial start of the song definitely it draws you in.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you with a little bit of, it gets you moving a little bit. But like you said, where you're looking for that point where things kind of changed, and there was a little bit of a level up. You get a shift in the vibe, or the tempo changes or something like that. I didn't feel it. Not that it's not. It's definitely something I'll listen to again. Because I like to do that where, you listen to it twice and it's always something that you miss. Listen to it again and it's something again that you missed.
Especially in headphones.
I mean, of course, but this was something that...
Car test.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, for those that don't have a car.
First time around, though, I don't know how to feel about it just yet.
Because it's missing something.
I feel that, but then it's like, it could be something that I'm missing, so that I'm not.
They left out the oregano on the hoagie.
Nah, it could just be something where it's
something.
just like, yo, I didn't catch that the first time, so let me listen to this again, and it might just be.
GOT7 fans are like, open your fucking ears.
Hey, I'm open. I'm listening to
And
it.
I wouldn't
I'm
put
gonna
it
listen
past
to it
them.
again, but it's just something that the first time around just didn't grab me.
Kurt?
I thought the video was shot very well. I liked the use of the
Way to be
Dutch angles in the
positive.
hallway. Well, no, I mean, I'm always going to point out things that I liked at least about it, even if, like I will agree with you on the lacking something. For me, I thought it was during the bridge, which was my favorite part, because that's when it felt like everything was building into a climax. I wish there was a little bit more background vocals to kind of add to the weight of the moment, if that makes sense. But there was a really cool shot that I liked that the main artist who was singing was looking into a mirror, but the camera kind of does like a zoom into the mirror and almost like, I don't want to necessarily say breaks to 180, but it rotates around to where like the mirror is like the full perspective. And that's kind of when like the end of the bridge happened and the artist ended up waking up at the end. So that kind of felt like the, transition between the reality and the dream world or whatever. But there was a lot visually that was keeping my attention. I did like the beat progression, but I noticed that was mainly, I would say, because the first 15 or 20 seconds, nothing like was happening as far as, and I mean that as a compliment, that they were using it to build suspense. Like I was waiting for something, and I knew when that beat dropped, it was going to get me, like grab my attention. 'Cause, like they held on to that suspense for a while. So when it actually did drop, it was able to hold my attention the whole time. So, I mean, I liked it, and especially for a first exposure to a group,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'll be checking them out for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down probably on everything that y'all said. Obviously, the aesthetic of the group looks good and clean. Like the looks were clean, the vocals were clean. Like everything was clean. The track just seemed light, and I mean that in the sense of like you said, as far as the beat progression went, the elements on the beat where I thought it would get heavier, it just didn't really go to where I wanted it to go to. And it left a little bit of emptiness inside of me, wanting a little bit more. But it was good enough for me to want to dive in and listen to like 2 or 3 more tracks to just kind of see what else they have in the arsenal. But it just kind of wasn't enough to kind of like stand me instantly, where it's just like, put that shit on right now or run it back. Like, it was solid though.
Yeah, and I always try to take into consideration too, like you don't know if it's, a continuous story, like they left off here, now this is a piece, so then we're like, it's missing something, but it's like part of a larger story. And
that's what they told us about yesterday's stuff we was doing, about how some of the confusion may be that sometimes when we go into these, it is a part of bigger stories and other things. So it's like, it's like watching Harry Potter and jumping in on the Half-Blood Prince and being like, well, what the fuck is going on? And it's just like, nah, you missed it.
I know that was said about
back.
about the Taman reactions, because I believe there was like a 2-3 part story arc in there. But
Well, I hear you, but yes and no, because the same thing as BTS too. They do a lot of connecting stories or connecting stories to their storyline that's not in music video form, that's in multimedia form, where each of them have powers. I think I might have spoken on that once or twice before. But each individual, thank you, because I got to catch the words. Each individual video can be seen as a standalone. You don't necessarily need to see what happened before or know what happens after to appreciate what you're looking at right now. Whereas it seems like some of these groups kind of rely on that aspect.
Yeah, which I think is a good thing in artistry. If you have a cohesive story that you're telling in an album or just, with like a trilogy of songs, it lends to better music videos, better way of just telling the story, and et cetera, et cetera.
Edge for that next set of songs, for sure. I think when you have something like that where there's a story that you follow, whether it's doesn't matter the genre, R&B, heavy metal, hip hop, K-pop, doesn't matter. When you have something that from the first song draws you in, but there's another part to tell. You're always waiting for that next part.
yeah,
Like
And
Trapped in a
that
Closet
next
Part
story.
12.
I mean, you have it at, well, I'm sure, yeah, if you want to go there, definitely. That was something that I think we were all listening to it like, yo, we got to hear what's happening in the next part because you knew what was going on was going to be crazy. When you have something like that, if there's other parts to it, then yeah, I definitely want to hear it. If it leads in
it had a nice commercial sound to it too. Like it sounded something that is going to get a lot
Definitely
of radio
sounded
play.
radio friendly.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep coming back to that analogy, but like if you were like the head of a record label or something like that, like it felt like it had all the elements to.
No, it's a viable
successful
analogy. I would keep coming back to it because that's the way we would necessarily have to think about some of these groups and some of these decisions that they make. If we were management or CEO of a record label, does this make sense?
Yeah.
And that's completely viable.
Yeah, these
Come back to it every time.
Yeah, these rollouts are expensive. I'm not gonna bring up other names of other groups, but just the process that
I won't mention your name.
that goes along with idols now. You essentially almost spend, I think, like $100,000 per year on like each person for wardrobe, like feeding them, like housing, for
Dietary.
artist development stuff.
Taking that stuff into consideration, I thought I liked the way the video was shot. It didn't seem like it was lacking in budget or anything like that. So
The video was shot very well. Most of my issues come from the actual song aspect of it. Even to the point where it was kind of like, maybe it might, I think my speakers are pretty decent, but maybe it might even be to the point where, like, when they were harmonizing, it didn't seem like they were harmonizing. It seemed like everybody was singing the same key, and it was just basically different voices. Tip her. And it was like kind of blending in that way. It didn't seem like a full 5 or 6 part harmony when they were doing the hook or the chorus. And again, I'll even, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna listen to it again. I'll listen to it again through headphones to kind of give it another vibe or another listen through. But when I heard it just now, I didn't hear that aspect of it,
But I
and
wanna
that
hear it
kind of
again,
bothers
though.
me.
I definitely want to hear it again.
Any other final thoughts, Shaw?
looking forward to seeing what else they got.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Patreon members, thank you, because this came directly from y'all.
We appreciate
Thank you, Patreon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, you definitely want to join the Patreon. All the content goes up there earlier than it'll hit YouTube. You have an opportunity to watch dance practices, live concerts, album reviews coming next month. Also, you'll probably get to do some live Q&As with us.
And you basically get to tell us what to do, what you want to react
Exactly.
to.
Everyone wants to do that.
And
But
for all the ladies, you get to control Nas' reactions.
I'm gonna let y'all see you.